Fortnite, also known as PUBG, also known as H1Z1, also known as Cory in the House, the video game, is a battle royale that pits players against each other until only one survives. Get to the point. I stumbled across this new game on CubeCraft called Battlezone. When I first saw it, I thought, this is just Hypixel Battle Royale, which is ripping off of Fortnite and PUBG, which are ripping off of every other Battle Royale game ever made. And I was right. Does that make this game bad? Not at all. On a fundamental level, wow, this game's really good. The guns, the resource collecting, the scaling, everything just feels so well put together. The guns come in a variety of types and rarities, making each one better for different fights. As of making this video, the sniper rifle is probably my favorite just because you can one-shot people from across the map. And I mean, come on, it can be extremely satisfying to just annihilate people with such ease. Resources are quite simple to collect and can be very handy for traversing the map. Trees, boulders, and crates can all be broken down by your tool and converted into raw materials. With those materials, you can then create different structures using the paper in your hotbar. The paper lets you swap between all your structures easily and makes construction really satisfying. The only downside to them is that they aren't very effective when trying to make a makeshift cover during the middle of a fight. Wait, why did I add make it makeshift? The map is pretty bland as of right now, so I hope it gets some additions in the future. Since every player is also given speed and jump boost, navigation feels so simple and painless, until you run into another player. With that being said, there are a few major downsides to this game. Right after the game is released, the lag makes it considerably harder to play the game. The first thing in the game is to drop down from the pig to the ground, but due to lag, your shift key won't register until 3 minutes after you've passed your destination. When you do drop, you have a 50% chance of getting stuck in a tree or a wall and suffocating in it until you have 5 hearts left. That doesn't sound as bad because an average player would think, oh, that's only half your health, you'll be fine. However, in this game, you start with 30 hearts, and you don't naturally regen, meaning that if you suffocate at the start, you have an incredibly large chance of getting cleaned. The community right now is also one of the more toxic ones compared to some of the other games on CubeCraft, and even other servers, which doesn't really surprise me because, well, Egg Wars. Bruh. People will target you into oblivion, even if you have no materials or anything on you. I've talked about this before, but it really annoys me when people target for the sake of kills instead of for items or even to win. Targeting somebody with a high bounty in the pit makes sense, since you'll gain money from killing them. Targeting someone without materials doesn't really get you anything. You can say, oh yes, now I have another kill, but it doesn't mean you're closer to winning. Taking out people who are a real threat gives you more leverage toward winning than killing someone with nothing to defend themselves with. That's the reason why I hate most Battle Royale games in the first place. The targeting someone for no reason just ruins the gameplay for people. Once you get past the lag and get into a game without toxic targeters, the game's honestly really fun. However, those two requirements make finding an interesting match considerably harder. Basically, the game is inconsistent. Everything from the players, lag, and even loot finding isn't balanced at all. I've always said you can't balance toxic players, but still. Maybe a grace period of a few minutes would be more fair than having targeting as an issue. Overall, I'd recommend this game. The massive lag may turn people away from playing, but at least give it a chance. It's considerably better than Hypixel's Battle Royale, and actually gives the player more creativity in how they can play within the map. So Hypixel, be warned.